So let's move on to the next topic. Talk a little bit more about the minutia, the little details of
the weekly
Destiny.
update and the hype train to fix what?
The economy.
Weapon parts.
Jose has brought this up, and specifically they're talking about weapon parts. So we're going to talk about Destiny and how do you fix the economy. So this is from the weekly update.
Well, I'm not an economist, but okay.
This is from the weekly update. They're talking about weapon parts, and they say, on that note, you'll see yet more welcome changes to the in-game economy in the December update. Rumor has it that Petra will have use for your etheric light, and Eris has been asking if anyone out there is hoarding a surplus of worm spore. Turns out she loves this stuff. And
baby, I've got worm spore for you, and that's not meant to be like a sort of a nasty thing to say, but man, I have like 400 plus
I have a ton of
worm spore.
I do too.
Just sitting in my inventory, which is
from
no
the
place
raid,
to put it.
You know, and all kinds of rewards that you get for
that and moldering shards. Is she interested in those?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So. How do you think they're going to fix it? What is Petra going to do with etheric light?
Yeah, what's broken though first? Because
there's just too many. So we have
stuff sitting in your inventory.
We have etheric light. We have weapon parts that we can't get enough of, which the gunsmith is going to sell now. That's how they're fixing
radiant
that.
Shards, radiant lights,
radiant shards. Yeah. There's so many different forms of inventory that not every piece of weapon not every piece of gear uses anymore.
Yeah. So if you're still sitting on radiant material or ascendant material, like drop everything, take all that crap to the speaker because he can give you motes or he can give you glimmer.
Yeah.
You should have done that already. Yeah. And you may have forgotten, dear sir or madam. So check that vault and make sure, because I did that yesterday. No, but see, I went through and purged all of it because there's no use for that stuff.
But what if they bring back something and then I'm like, why did I do it? That's the problem that it did, because I don't think they've said, get rid of it. You'll never need it again. They're just like, hey, here's a way to get rid of it.
You'll never need it again. You want to take that bet?
Motes to experience is like the best thing ever. Thank you, Bungie, by the way, for that. I think if I said that once before, man, it is one of my favorite parts. Is I earn the motes, which I can decide to use on certain things because it's all about what's equipped. So that's actually what's good about the economy.
Okay, so maybe keep 200 of each. But I think that...
But what's broken is what I'm asking.
Yeah, but those materials specifically, sorry, I hate to get granular, were tied to leveling gear, which at the end of the day, you don't do anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all gone.
And you're right about that.
Yeah.
But back to the question. What is broken? Are you just saying your inventory's too full? Is that what's broken? Let's get to the root of your problem, Destin.
So while you guys have been talking, this is what I could think of off the top of my head.
Go.
Your light level is kind of a currency, but just actual currency. Ascendant materials, radiant materials. There's 4 there. Etheric, weapon parts, armor parts, worm spore, relic iron, spin metal, spirit bloom, helium filaments.
Okay. But you don't
all of this stuff.
But wait, you don't. I haven't played the beginning. You don't earn Ascendant anymore, do you? Or do you earn
if you run Vault?
You still earn in Vault? I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
and Radiant, you're still earning in
Courtesan.
Okay, so you still earn them.
And from that gear.
Yeah.
That's right, because you still need it to level the gear. I just haven't done it in a while. Yeah, so that is, like, it works during that brief period of time, and then you, like, sunset it. See, I think you should be allowed to turn it into legendary marks, for starters, because that is the, call it, year 2 experience for the most part. So that's, like, an easy solution, like, turn it in for marks.
You know what I think would help solve this? Transmogrification. Sean has talked about it many times on the show. Take this old gear, you max it out, and then you're able to transmog it so that it's comparable to a year 2 level piece of armor.
I mean, that's basically almost infusion.
Wait, but don't you get to keep the so in this transmogrification?
So transmog is where, like, let's say you have a piece of year 2 gear that you want to look like year 1 gear.
Yeah.
Well, they can make it so you have to have your year 1 gear max, which makes all these things matter again, and then you can make your year 1 gear have the
year
light
2
level
benefits?
of a year 2 benefit.
Isn't that like what Etheric Light did essentially? Like basically raising something to a specific
it would raise it to the max light, and then they just abandon it. And it was really unfortunate. I was really excited to get, like, oh man, I could have that Vault of Glass armor. I loved how it looked. I could use my Radiant, Etheric Light.
I guess that's a great point. Why is it that
and then they just got rid of it?
Is the only thing that you can use infusion?
That's what I'm saying. Because they're waiting for the time to release that option. Like, duh. No, I'm serious. Like, it's not like they don't want you to be able to dress up in that. It's just that, one, I don't think they've gotten to it.
Why did
2,
they
had to pace out things. You can only do so many things at once, Like, from a product side, right? Everything is a product that you touch.
This seems a very difficult thing on the coding side, though. You have year 1 stuff. All of a sudden, it's going to have a bubble, and you can ascend it to year 2 status. I mean, they purposefully got rid of a lot of this stuff from year 1, which we'll talk about later.
But wait, we're talking about, like, raid gear. So they'll say, whatever, you can do this thing, vault of glass, and now you can infuse. That's probably what they'll do, right?
But don't you want like some brand spanking new like look or outfit or weapon? Like, do you mean to tell me you would still want to be using Fatebringer right now? Like, I kind of want, like, I let it go.
We'll talk about the year one's weapon and armor that we want, to bring into year two.
Yeah, sorry.
But right now, specifically, this is talking about the economy, and one solution was to allow that stuff to be ascended. So let's actually kind of move on to the weapons and armor.
Well, you never answered my question. What is the problem? I will cite a potential problem.
The problem is
my inventory being full.
Yeah, I'm not inventory is full of junk.
Okay, but I'm not earning a lot of this stuff that it's a problem anymore.
No, that's true.
So that's what I was getting at, is like, I'm not sitting here rolling up another 500 Ascendant shards. Wormspore, though, a lot of Wormspore.
A lot of Wormspore, and also, like, let's talk about Etheric Life for a second. I mean, that's something you get in Prison of Elders, which, when Taken King came out, became an irrelevant space.
That's right.
And it's something we've talked about on the show, that Bungie, right now, it seems that with each release of DLC, they are introducing new things, but older things kind of get left behind, either because of a schedule or because they just don't think about it. But now they're playing catch up, and like right now, for example, it sounds like Petra will accept Etheric Life for some kind of bonus.
Might be onto something.
Don't know what that is. What
Prison of Elders, an unused space. Petra's kind of, where did she gone, dead? What happened?
She's still there. She still gives you bounties.
Yeah.
Oh, the Petra. I meant the Queen.
You meant the Queen.
But the point is, the space is unused, and I would point to that as another, I bet you, DLC or whatever. Like, it will come back. Etheric Light may be used and earned in there. Who knows? But
I ran Prison with some buddies and just nuked the hell out of Skolas.
I'm sure that was
so
fun.
Good. It felt so good.
Actually, I haven't done that yet, but to go back at like a 310 plus and just destroy that a-hole. Yeah.
What you do?
I might do that.
You bring touch. Touch. You can one-man touch Malice him, and it nukes him in one run.
With Weapons of Light.
Armor. You use armor because you got to dip in. So when you're down to one round, you're doing double damage, basically, right?
Yeah.
So you literally watch the
either way,
go. It feels really good.
I bet you
he gets wrecked.
Anyway, my thing is, I agree the economy needs tweaks, and they've said it themselves, and they said, thank you for keeping us informed on what you want to see.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, what I'm saying is I don't have a major issue with the economy. Wormspore is getting a little out of control. But I can shred them. I'm just worried about it.
To me, this is a Band-Aid, which is good, but I still feel that they're not addressing the exotic shard economy. I feel is terrible. If you are a year 2 player just coming into this game, year 2, you didn't have year 1 stuff that you broke down, how the heck are you getting exotic shards? Like, it feels like it's impossible. Like you are wasting way too many strange coins, which, by the way, they also didn't address in this update how they're fixing that.
There we go.
Right now, everyone's running
another one.
To Prison
Weapon
of
parts,
Elders.
strange coins, and exotic shards. Those are problems.
Yeah, and this is why people are running Prison like insane folk, because they just want those coins. Because you took them out of the weekly, and you had reasons for that.
14
but not
economies we're up to.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, exactly.
See, that's not necessarily the problem. But
so they
exotic shards,
armor parts used to be 3 different types of armor parts. Then they reduced it down to 1. So why don't they do that with planetary materials? Why don't they instead of having 5 different kinds of planetary materials? Why don't they just have planet mats?
Maybe. I don't mind that so much personally, but your quest to get a bunch of stuff is annoying. But anyway. The important thing here is weapon parts you can buy from the gunsmith will be able to soon. That's huge. That is such a struggle for me, and it keeps me from using weapons that I've earned.
It's because they made a mistake when designing the new economy system. You don't get weapon parts when dismantling for some reason. It has to be a bug.
You don't get enough.
Yeah. And I do think we're overlooking that they have made progress on one front, which is that the raid and the raid materials that drop are no longer the gateway to leveling to light level, which was a massive pain in the ass. Like one of the reasons that Dark Below was like just crapped on by a lot of people is because how many times did you have to run it to finally hit 32?
3.
Yeah. Did you really?
I got it in 3.
Those lucky drops.
One exotic, and then whatever piece you got. So you just kind of piece together what you needed,
Yeah,
some of us were not that lucky.
But you had to get the drop in the right place. So. Even that, to me, to get over 300 was a pain. I was not getting gauntlets and boots, of all things. Because I had an exotic helmet. So, in Taken King.
Anyway.